So now that we've gotten started with Canva, let's talk about creating a design. When you log in, you'll see across the top the Create a Design menu. These are basically where your most popular social media, digital internet tool type of images, designs can be found. For example, like your social media post, that's going to be like something you'll see on Instagram. Here's something you might do for Facebook, blogs. If you don't see what you want here, you can click more, and there's a whole pile of stuff that you can use. So like, if you want to make a desktop wallpaper, if you want to make a header for your Twitter page, you can do that. So you could look through those and find whatever you need, most likely. But if you can't find what you need, you can also use the custom dimensions up here and come up with whatever dimensions you need to have your design be. Like that. What I'm going to do is actually click on the social media one to get started. Keep it low. Alright, so as soon as you open up a design, you're going to have the basically your canvas here that you can. Across the top you have your menu, file, you can open up stuff, save, undo, redo. So all this stuff is basically simple. We'll get into the sharing and downloading later. As soon as you open it up, it will open up to layouts. Layouts are kind of, if you don't want to spend a whole lot of time designing your own stuff, you can just pick something that's already created and swap out pictures and change things up a little bit. So like, I'll pull this, if I click on this layout, I'll pop all this stuff over in here into my canvas, and then I can make some changes. So if I don't like this quote, I can say sharks are awesome instead of something about teachers, and I can say Happy Sharks Day. And so what I did is I just took that layout and I changed a couple things about it. I also might want to change the background image. And I come in here and I searched up just like an image of the ocean real quick and put that over here. Move it back to the background, and it's really as simple as putting in new stuff where the old stuff was. And so there it is. It's pretty easy to use a layout to get started, but that's only if you just need to do something quick and you don't want to spend a whole lot of time creating something. Let's say you want to spend a little more time and make something from scratch. I'll go ahead and add a new page down here. So like, let's say you want to make more than one image, you want to make a series of images, you can just add a bunch of different canvases on the same project. So add a new page, and it's going to give me that same background. I'm actually going to delete this and go back to the blank. Alright, so we started on layouts. Search, let's talk about that first. Search is where you're going to be able to search the Canva database for stuff that you need. So let's say I want to use a picture of the Eiffel Tower. I just do a quick search for Eiffel Tower, and here's one I might use. So Canva has built-in images. You will notice that a lot of these say $1. That means when you go to publish it, you'll have to pay, but there are also a lot of free ones on there. So searching can do that. Let's say maybe you want a picture of a computer. So drop this in here, or a mouse maybe. Okay, so you have all those options of stuff. There's pictures of anything you'd ever probably need. Layouts, we already talked about that. Elements. Elements are where if you just want to kind of look through some of the content that's already put in here. For example, if I go to illustrations, I can look through all of the built-in illustrations and decide if there's something that I really need. I can just drag that right over and add it. I don't really need a picture of a key, but maybe I would have a picture of a large building. And so along inside of elements, you also have stuff like lines. If you want to add a border, you might do something like this. So now I've created, part of a border. If I want to put that all the way around, I don't, so I'm not going to waste any more time with that. Frames are things you can pull over here and then put a picture inside of this. We'll talk more about that stuff later. Grids, same kind of idea. You can pop this over here and then fill in these different grids with pictures of your choice. Free photos. These are images and pictures that are free to use. So this is where you'll probably spend most of your time looking through to find these kind of things that you will use. Next one is text. There's two kinds of text you can use. Up here you can just hit up these text boxes like this and just type in here something like that. You also have these kind of text designs down here. You can drag those over, and these kind of add a little more design to the way the text is laid out. All of this is editable, so as you drop it over here, you can come in here and retype anything. Okay. So while we're on the text, let's talk about some of the stuff you can do with text. If you click on the text, you have your editor up here. There are tons of fonts within Canva if you want to use that. Of course, you have your typical stuff like the size editors. You can change the color. You have bold, italics if you want to do alignment. Right here you have, if you want to make everything uppercase or lowercase. Some fonts obviously don't work with that. Bullet points if you're into that. Text spacing. This one's cool. I like text spacing. So you can actually change the height of the lines. So a lot of editors don't have stuff like this, but I think it's actually really cool. You can actually change the space between the letters as well. So that, that's kind of a design that's appealing in some ways. So that's how you can add text. The next one down here is background. So when you start throwing in backgrounds, you have the option of solid colors. You also have the option of the built-in background designs. And again, you are going to have the free stuff up here and the pay stuff down here. If you're me, you stay with the cheap things. You go like that. So here's my picture about France. It's finished. Really cool. So whenever you start from scratch and you got an idea, I forgot one thing. Let's talk about the uploads. This is awesome. So whenever you go to you want to use your own pictures, you can upload stuff that's not in the library. Doesn't, maybe you want to use a picture of something in your classroom or something specific that you can't find. You could just upload your own pictures. Here's one of my daughter. We'll use this one. So let's literally drag it over. I'll use this one as the background. And so now this is going to be my picture. I can come in here and add some stuff. And you can see how, quickly you can come in here and have something done. I always like to kind of add some depth to text by doing this. But yeah, it's as simple as that. I get that in there. There are a couple other things you can do with the editor, so let's talk about that really quick. If you pick a picture and highlight it, you have options of doing stuff like filters. So like think of if you're an Instagram person, you have all these fancy filters you can use to add a little more flair to your images. So if I want to go with edge, that's pretty good. You can also do stuff like flipping your pictures horizontally and vertically. Let's add something else here so I can show you a few other things. What we need is some lightning bolts. Here we go. If you have something like a lightning bolt, any other kind of clip art, you can, if you want multiple copies of this, you hit the copy button and you get something like that. You can highlight multiple layers as well, something like this. Say I want to group these. Okay, now this is as one. I want to ungroup them and group. You have the option to do that with any amount of layers. This over here is your transparency slider. So if you want these to be transparent slightly, kind of do an overlay over that picture. You can do that. Alignment is just how you want these to be on the as they're grouped. You see I have them all piled up there, but I can also put them in all these different configurations. Let's say I don't want that. I can hit the trash can. Boom, delete it. We have that back though. You can also send this to somebody and make these images interactive by doing stuff like links. So let's say I click this lightning bolt and I hit the link button and I say www.awesomekid.com and I click apply. And now when I share this, the interactive version would be linked. So this could be something kind of like a thing link where it could different parts of your image could link to different things. All right, so a couple of things about the editor while we're here. If you want to zoom in on your picture and get a little bit closer, and why wouldn't you want to zoom in on this adorable child, you can do that. You can set this to kind of go to a full screen view. So those are some of the options of things that you can do with the editor. Let's see if I'm missing anything. No, I think that is basically everything you need to know about the editor. So what we will do from here on the next session is we'll talk about downloading, sharing, and getting your images out so the world can see them.